Wisdom Dose with Sona Forward.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very glad to welcome you to July edition of Wisdom Dose with Sona Forward. In this month of July, we are dealing with character.
And I believe Nigeria is one of the most religious countries in the world. We should come in with the angle of religion to talk to ourselves and to actually correct some of these deficits and errors, especially when it comes to character.
For a man to succeed or break through in life or achieve anything in life, the person must have a good character.
Take character from a man. What you have left is nothing.
Until when we decide to go back to how it used to be, where the character, the moral, the ethical values were there, the personality. You don't want people to say, oh, what kind of a person is this? Your behavior, your actions will show that you are of a good character.
Don't miss it. Watch it. Share it.
Join Wisdom Dose with Sona Forward.
8 p.m. every Saturday. And dare not miss Wisdom Dose with Sona Forward.
Wisdom Dose with Sona Forward. Communicating value, impacting lives.
I want to appreciate you particularly for deeming it fit to join the community of people that are committed to making a difference in this our world and in our generation. In this month of July, we are dealing with character.
Character plays a major role in human development and management, human relationship. Character plays a major role. And for a man to succeed or break through in life or achieve anything in life, the person must have a good character. Like I said the other time, it can be explained in clear terms, a mental state or a mental and moral qualities. Yes, when we say or when we are referring to character, many people mix it in life because they lack good character and they struggle to get to their place of honor. And when we look at it from this angle, to our young people listening at home, we see that most of them in the society now are struggling to get to the top, to achieve one thing or the other because they lack character. In place of character, where we have humility. Humility is another aspect of when we say somebody have good character. Humility, respect for people, and our way of communication. Now, character can open doors that cannot open unto you normally. Character can take you to places. Character can change your level and status if you are of good character. And nevertheless, there's another says, bad communication corrupts good manners. So when you are saying you have good character, you must also mingle or walk along with good people that have high integrity.
Character is pivotal, is key, is the nucleus of whatever or whoever you want to become in life. Because we all can't get there without a very good character. I will also say that character is mostly an action thing. It's wrapped around action. The English people used to say, they will tell you a verb is an action word. Now, that action ropes around the word character because it's actually different from attitude. Because I notice a lot of people used to mix them together. Attitude can be an innate thing, but character is something that you have built over time. So if it's not there, it's not there. If it's there, it's there. I'm also a preacher and a teacher. I want to talk about the difference between attitude and character so that a lot of people won't mix it. I know a lot of people who are going to listen to this broadcast might not be Christians, so I wouldn't want to bore you with the biblical exegesis of this discussion. But I'll just go straight to the point. There is a man in the Bible that God had to kill himself because he did something to David. But the wife of the man had character. The man had an attitude. The attitude is, whoever you are, I don't care. But the woman had a character. And the character is, I want to honor God. Now, honoring God is a character. I don't care is an attitude. It's something you just picked up along the way. It's not something you were born with. It's not innate with you. But when it comes to character, it's something that is gradually coming up as you are growing up. Sometimes you pick it from people. Sometimes you heard it somewhere. Sometimes you read it in a book. Sometimes, especially some of us who are on the pulpit ministering to people, it can be said to you and you say, oh, this thing I was doing it wrong before and let me do it right now. You know, so that's why Yoruba people always mention that word, Iwaloba Awure, because they believe that when you have a good character, as a man you will succeed in life. As a woman you will enjoy your home. As a child you will grow up well. As whoever or whatever you are, things will fall into place for you. And when I'm saying this, I'm not saying there's not going to be the wilderness experience. I'm not saying there's not going to be the rough patches on the road, because Jesus even made us to understand it. But what I'm saying is, character will bring you out of that wilderness. Character will sustain you in that wilderness. Character will lead you through in that wilderness. So when you get back to the lamplight, and all the glory will return to God, and Jesus will be lifted high. So it's very important in our society for someone to have a good character. It's major. It's very important.
Character is majorly needed to achieve anything significant in life. You must understand that there is no way we can move forward without a character. Without a character. I was opportune to be in a gathering and the person is due for a particular appointment. But because of lack of character, in one way or the other. When I say character, I mean good character, good qualities, good morals, values is missing. And they have to give that appointment to another person. And those people said, the person we are giving this opportunity doesn't have the capacity, but they have character. We will train him on the job. And when I hear that, I was amazed. So it is possible to be on the job without being competent, but they will train you on the job. And they say after all, he's educated. We grab with time. So I want to say that this present generation, we need character. Seriously. And we need to go back to the grassroots. And there is this adage that I don't believe in, that people say with this present generation, they call it mood swing. They say that baby, that girl, that boy is experiencing mood swing. Just leave him alone. When we are growing up, there's nothing like mood swing. There's nothing like mood swing. When your parents beat you or cane you very well, your head will be correct and you will do the needful. There's nothing like mood swing. So, and There's another that says charity begins at home. Most of this work comes from our parents too. Parenting plays a major role in bringing up the child. Now, when we train up these children in the right path to follow, we groom them, train them, educate them where they need to be corrected, in beating, in chastising them, do the needful, and also correct them in love. So with this, we build their character over time, and they start developing on it. And before you know it, among their equals, they will be the best. So character plays a major role in any settings we might find ourselves. Now, character also build relationship. I mean quality relationship. When we have good character, we build quality relationship. And some people ask some questions from me, probably when I go for a particular interview like this. How am I able to meet some people? You know, people that I deal with are people who are far beyond my caliber. But all I see is that at a point in time they call me. I want you on this, I want to see you, come and give me advice. You know, and I look at myself. Why are they calling? And when this topic comes to me and I was making research, thinking about it, implementing about it, I said, character plays a major role. So I want to encourage our listeners, the youth, the teenagers, the young adults, and the adults too are not left out, that they should work on their character. No matter how skillful you are, if the character is bad, you cannot move forward. Bad character is a symptom of stagnation. And for us to move forward, the person in question must work on it.
I got to know that there is an American way of living and there is a Nigerian way of living. So most of the time I used to talk to people like Asha San recently, a long time ago, and said, who is responsible for what we teach our children? Is it the internet or the stars of television? I've come to terms to ask myself, the way we do parenting these days is terrible. I will say it again. The way we are doing our own parenting these days is terrible. I remember during the Easter period, I had reasons to be interviewed on TV and on radio. And I said in one of the radio programs I was invited as a guest, I said, the way you were trained, is that the way you are training your children? So if you are complaining about deficits, because I wouldn't want to delve so much into it, the question all of us listening to me, home or abroad, is the way you were trained, is that the way you are trained? Not. Nobody are more opinion to complain about whatever is going on in Nigeria or in any part of the world. Because I could recall while we were growing up, they would tell you, being a Yoruba boy, they would tell you, Oju kan lo bimo, igba oju lo to. And that's how we do. I could recall a particular scenario where I think I did something. I was quite young, I was less than 10-year old. And somebody was dealing with me, and my dad got to know about the issue, and I was dragged in, and I was really dealt with also. You know, it was because we had a communal way of living. But these days, it's man for work common, and they will finish it. But those days that we were growing up, there is nothing like man for work common. If you do anything in the community, 3, 4, 5 people that dealt with you before your parents' arrival. And when your parent comes in, you will have another dose. You know already. I want to be real with this. My father is late, so I'm free to say it. When my dad is coming back home, myself and my immediate senior sister, we used to pray that my dad should die if he travels. Because my father was very tough. Very. And I thank God that I'm still enjoying that toughness because it's still in me. Some of the things he did that time were tougher, they were painful. I didn't really like him as a person, but I am enjoying the proceed of those toughness. So when I was about having kids, and people were saying, I told them, I don't want a boy, because I was a tough child. So I have in my head that I'm going to have another tough son, and I don't want a son. And to the glory of God, I have 3 beautiful daughters presently. And like I always say, it's not because I don't want a son for any reason, but my reason basically was because I was very tough for my father to train. So I know I'm going to have a tough son or even a tougher son. So that's why I prayed. I don't want a son. And God answered my prayer. The deficit we have is, like Pastor said earlier, the product of bad parenting. I said it the last time I was here. There is this approach we used to do things. I call them the trunk approach. When they say, oh, something happened in Nigeria, they say, oh, let's go and cut it from the trunk. But we have to go to the root. If you want to kill a tree, you can't cut the trunk. You will go to the root of the matter. And the root of the matter is parenting has been lost. Before now, in my experience, working experiences, I was a teacher at one of the very known schools here in the city of America. I wouldn't want to mention the school. I know of a daughter who had never seen the father. And as at that time that I was talking about, she was a teenager. But they were sending money for school food. Now, the street is going to teach that girl. Girls were too there. And they can't have the touch they were supposed to have. So when people like that marries a man, it will take God an extra effort to deal with the vacuum. So when we are talking about the deficit, let's look at those areas. How many fathers have time for their daughters? Because the relationship in physics is unlike charges attract. So the father is supposed to deal with the daughters in the house. The mothers are supposed to deal with the sons in the house. Now the question is, are you as the father monitoring your daughters? Are you as the mother monitoring your sons? If we are not doing that, nobody should complain about the deficit. We will keep having it. Like I used to say in my church assembly, we have not seen anything. All these ones we are seeing are just, people are talking about divorce. Divorce, we've not seen 24 hours. There will be 24 hours. There will be 12 hours divorce. Because the decadence in our character is nosediving. So most of the time, I used to feel, one, personally, I blame the church leaders, or should I say the church as a whole, because I feel that whatever is missing, we have it in the scriptures. Whatever is missing, our pulpits should start correcting them. But I wouldn't want to talk about a particular denomination or a particular church, but we are not there yet. Our pastors are busy looking for money and visa. We need to get there. We need to help the parents to get back to the basics. So the deficit you talk about, sir, will continue to happen. Like Pastor said, he said he's a child educator. I think he's one of those very small, minute, out of the larger sum of Nigerians doing that. And I think everybody should be a child educator. Every man should be a child educator. Every woman should be a child educator. But the problem is, you that want to educate somebody, Have you educated your own? Are you educated yourself? The Yorubas will always say it. Any man that you that you want to tell somebody about something, what is in with you yourself? I think those are the things we need to first deal with. You that want to talk about something, do I have it? If you don't have it, can you work on it? If you're working on it, then use that opportunity to talk about it. Because we need more of the talking, especially to our children these days. Because I told somebody, if you beat them too much, somebody will come and carry you. Not like before, where our father used to beat us anyhow. But these days, find time to erase the deficits in the mind of our children.
Till I come your way again next week, I remain your sincerely, Sunday Affordable.
Wisdom Dose with Sonaford.
Daddy and mommy, uncle and auntie, my brother and sister, Wisdom Dose with Sonaford is for you.
In an era where our values, our norms have been seriously eroded, I'm sure that listening to Wisdom Dose with Sonaford will go a long way to change our perception about what life is all about, and also encourage us that this life is worth living.
Don't miss it. Watch it. Share it.
Join Wisdom Dose with Sonaford.
8 p.m. every Saturday, and dare not miss Wisdom Dose with Sonaford.
Join us to communicate values in important lives.
Wisdom Dose with Sonaford. Communicating value, impacting lives.